Fun is we ended the season one with a lot of balls in the air. You know, Rachel's a prisoner, Alicia's a prisoner of her own mother, Danny and Jeter and Chandler are off the ship and on their own with Chandler's family in tow. And of course the ship's been taken over and Tex is out in the wind. And so without giving away the endings, all that comes back into play and the mission becomes, you know, get back our ship, get our people back, secure the cure, and figure out what the hell's going on in Baltimore and the rest of the country. And the first season was a lot about the world. You know, we were out in the Arctic, and then we were in Central America, and off the coast of America. We never actually touch land in America until we get to Baltimore. Season 2 is much more about America and what America looks like after this terrible catastrophe. You know, infrastructure down, government down, is there lawlessness, you'll see the good and the bad, and we kind of harken back to another era in our history where America was fractured. So you kind of feel a lot of Civil War overtones in the sense of, you know, you go from state to state and everyone has their own way of dealing with the pandemic. And these guys who represent America and the ship that represents America is trying, and has the cure, is trying to figure out a way to bring the country together, bring the cure out to people. And all the problems they had even when they got to Baltimore still exist. How do you mass produce it? How do you distribute it? How do you get the word out? Communication becomes an issue. So all those things come to bear. But in the immediate aftermath of season 1, it's more about how do we work together while separated to achieve this goal. What you'll see is that the planning that Chandler makes on the ground with his 2 guys around him and his family, he knows if he does X, the guys in the ship, if they hear about it, will do Y. And if they do that, they can help people at Granderson's place. So it shows you, it's amazing how it shows you these guys, the way they work together. So they pull things off because they can almost speak to each other telepathically because they know from their training, you know, like, okay, that guy's going to do this. If I do this, they're going to go over here. It's like a chess match. If I go over here, Granderson will do this. If she does that, she'll take troops away from the ship. They can do this. So it's a lot of fun. But it's also extremely high stakes. And the death of Chandler's wife is going to cast a pall over the whole season because on a personal level, you know, you dig the hometown. And then they're not very far from Virginia, where a lot of them are from. So that whole question of whose families will be alive, whose friends, who will want to stay with the ship, who will want to go back to their families. Because the mission was a missile test in the Arctic. It turned into this mission to save the world. But if you're an enlisted guy on the ship and you're not getting paid anyway anymore, and your family's all gone, maybe you would want to leave the ship and go find, you know, your loved one. The captain's found his. So all those issues come up as well. So it's a lot of personal and sort of macro stakes happening at the same time. You know, for example, in the Rachel and Chandler storyline, they began season 1 not trusting each other, and then formed an unlikely alliance and became quite close by the end. And that relationship gets tested again this season 2. And you know, our younger crew, we're going out there fighting every week. They're going to face issues with each other and with the world, and it's mostly because this is uncharted territory for all of them. And so they have a lot of training, but you know, these are Americans we're talking to now, and why is it not working out? And so you'll find a lot of interpersonal and extrapersonal conflicts.